Hey, I want to thank you for joining us on this edition of Polk Place. I'm Brian Lacey, going to talk Peace River Center and teen dating violence awareness. And joining us in studio is Jess Shapiro. She's a primary prevention and relocation advocate at Peace River Center and first-time visitor to the show.
Yes, very excited to be here.
Yeah, I understand you got that new employee smell about you. You're what, like
Just
6-7 months into the job?
Yeah, it's starting to wear off, but it's still there.
Yeah, you work with a great group over there. Tatiana and Jess and the rest of the group, man, always love helping you guys in whatever you do. But today, very special, teen dating violence awareness, and we'll get into that. But let's talk about your job. Talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, so my role is kind of a dual role. So primary prevention, which is working in outreach and with the community, really trying to curb violence before it starts. And then on the other side, it's relocation. So helping our survivors find stability to be in their own spaces, find that safety where they can start over.
And when I do these interviews, I always talk a little bit about backgrounds. And when you told me your background, I was like, wow, that's kind of a stretch. But then as we talk a little bit more about it, I get exactly about where you come from and how you landed in the role. Talk to me a little bit about your background.
Yes, so originally I'm from Wisconsin, and prior to my career now, I was a police officer for 10 years. So I saw a lot of firsthand what happens in domestic violence, and even how it rises to that level. So even starting with our youth and what they were seeing and experiencing as well as engaging in. And then I moved down here, went into yoga, really wanting to empower people to take their healing back into their own hands. And that has led me here, which is kind of a combination of both worlds.
So what are some of the things that you deal with on a daily basis with Peace River?
It varies day to day because my roles are two different sides of the coin, but a lot of it that crosses both roles is finding empowerment for people. So not playing the victims and understanding that their circumstances are just that. It's a circumstance that we can change if we're willing to do that. And so helping people find that avenue to either get out of violence or stop it from even starting.
One of the things that we're here to talk about is teen dating violence awareness. And that's, if you think about it, it shouldn't even be a thing, but talk about how it's evolved over the years and how it festers itself and grows larger.
So I think you're right. I mean, it shouldn't be a thing that we have to talk about, much like domestic violence. And unfortunately it is. And I think one of the reasons it continues to kind of grow and fester is because we're not having open conversations like this. And so they still feel like taboo topics, or what happens behind closed doors stays behind closed doors. And that allows those actions and activities to continue to grow. But I think specifically with teen dating violence, we don't realize that relationships are taught and modeled. They're not instinctively known. And so if you have youth that are growing up being exposed to violence, or not understanding what a healthy relationship looks like, then that's what they're going to model because that's what they've seen. So how can we, as adults in the community, model what healthy relationships are for the youth so that they can understand and see red flags when they're coming up, so that they can make the decisions that are putting themselves in healthy relationships?
As you said, if you're raised in a situation that you've experienced it, you become numb to it. But in the event you're involved in it, and I'll use the words of a great sheriff, ours of Polk County, Grady Judd, if you see something, say something. Talk a little bit about the importance that teens that are involved in this, that they seek help, that they say something, that they break the chains, if, for lack of better.
I think it's such a hard thing to navigate, because even as adults, we have a hard time breaking that cycle and talking about it. So as a teen, when everything is new and different and we're experiencing things, we don't necessarily know right away that something's not right. Because sometimes intensity in a relationship can feel like, oh my gosh, I'm so in love. Or this is what it's supposed to feel like, this big, grand, intense experience, when in reality it's a lot of red flags and a lot of control. So I think having conversations so that teens are aware of those kinds of things, and then creating environments where they feel safe to have those conversations, whether it's conversations with other peers or trusted adults that they feel comfortable coming to and being like, this is happening to me, or I'm experiencing this, or I have a friend that is going through this and I'm concerned. What kind of help do you have, or what should I do about it? And kind of allowing them to find that empowerment of making the choices that this isn't what I want to experience, and how can I remove myself from the situation.
From a parent standpoint, communication is key, but sometimes there's that wall. How do you break that wall, and how do you inform your child that, you know, even before it starts, or encourage them that they can tell you anything? How, from a parent standpoint, how do you do that?
And I think it starts young, before we even think we need to be having those conversations. Letting your kids know you can talk to me about anything, kind of removing some of the judgment that we might have about what the conversation is, or even setting up, I know maybe you don't want to talk to me, but do you want to, you know, your aunt or the family friend, a coach that you have that connection to. But also, our actions speak so much louder than our words. And so what are we modeling at home? Are we modeling healthy relationships? Are we modeling open communication with other adults in the house, with other kids in the house, so that they can already see that it's safe to be open and honest with stuff that's coming up? And starting small, not getting overly judgmental or angry when something happens, especially when the small stuff happens, but acknowledging what they're bringing to you, so that when the bigger things come up, they're not afraid to broach those topics.
Jess, we've talked from the victim standpoint and from the parent standpoint, but there's also something else, someone else that sees it. There's your friends, your people that you hang around with. If you see something happen to one of your friends, what's the worst thing that you can do? Because I know that friends talk to each other and like you said, oh, I'm in love, I'm in so much love, and they don't know. They honestly don't know. So from a friend standpoint, what can they do?
I think from the friend standpoint, it's important to remember that, yes, like our friendship dynamics can change when we're in a relationship. However, sometimes what happens, especially in teen dating violence and intimate partner violence, isolation is a big control tactic. And so they will isolate the person from friends and family. And so keeping that communication open of, hey, I know this relationship is new and you're really excited, but I'm still here. I still want to be friends. Do you want to hang out? Do you want to, talk? And just making sure that they know that you're still there, because especially in teen, in that space, it can be really easy to cut off friendships because, you feel like you've been abandoned or rejected for this other new relationship. And so just making sure that you stay in that person's life, making sure that they know that you still support them, still want to be friends with them, and letting them know that, hey, you know, this seems like maybe it's a little controlling, maybe these things feel a little bit off, and I just want to make sure you're good, you're okay, if you want to talk, but removing that judgment as well, because we can be really judgmental on our friends. And so I think when we remove that, it opens the space up and lets everybody feel a little safer to really express what they're experiencing.
We have about 30 seconds left. Anything that we didn't cover, and how can folks find out more information to what to look for and how Peace River can help them? Absolutely.
So our outreach office on North Crystal Lake, we're always there to assist survivors. And even if you're not sure if you fall into the category of that, we have lots of resources within the community, so we're happy to point people in the direction that's going to best serve them. But in terms of teen dating violence and prevention, we are always looking for community partners that are already working with the youth, so we can create partnerships, doing programming for healthy relationships, because that's our ultimate goal, is to really set our youth up for the best life and the best relationships that they can have, and not even enter into that violent cycle.
And as you said, that violent cycle, what you do at this age affects you at this age. Talk about that quickly.
Absolutely. So our youth that experience dating violence or violence of some kind are exponentially higher rate to enter intimate partner violence relationships, to either end up being victims of that or perpetrators of that, because once again, that cycle of violence is all that they have experienced. So if we can stop that from even starting, we're reducing the level of intimate partner violence in adulthood that we're seeing.
Well, Jess, I want to thank you for coming in and sharing information. Anything you've got going on, you know, come back and see me. I love the conversation and definitely dig helping you guys. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Peace River Center wants you to know that teen dating violence is a serious problem in the U.S., affecting approximately 10% of all teenagers between 12 and 18. It includes stalking, harassment, and physical or sexual abuse. Peace River Center is always looking to engage with community partners who are already working with the youth to facilitate programming around healthy relationships. Now, if you need more information, go to peacerivercenter.org, Victim Services, or follow them on Facebook at facebook.com PRC Victim Services. If you enjoyed that episode of Polk Place, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and even check out the next one.